Today we're going to talk about the Comuna of Belen and finding apartments throughout Medellin. The Comuna of Belen is located directly south of Laureles. As in my last videos, Laureles would be my #1 choice to live in. With that said, the proximity to Laureles, it would be my second choice. It has the same terrain, meaning it's flat. Flat is important unless you plan on Ubering directly to and from your front door all the time. As climbing a mountain daily can get old quickly. Another feature I like about Belen is that it's mostly a working class comuna. It's actually the largest comuna in the city and can range from an Estrata 3 to 5 on the average. So very diverse living can be found. Buses run regularly to every part of this, should I say, small city. Its area is wide. It's bordered by mountains to its left and bordered by the highway and the local airport to its east. So if you look at a map and you see that airport, you'll know that's the east side of Belen. The border to its north is Calle 33, or Calle 33, 33rd Street. This is the happening strip for bars, nightclubs, and lounges. Personally, I found it to have more of a younger feel to it than Boulevard Carrera 70 or 70. On the south side of the street is Belen, and to the north side is Laureles. Also, you'll not notice the difference of the Comuna look and feel there. If anyone's seen my videos where I mentioned Sweet Georgia Cafe, it's actually located 1 block to the south of 33. So its physical address is in Belen. This area is residential, as most areas are, with sprinkles of businesses throughout. I love that throughout the entire city of Medellin, you'll see small stores, or should I say tiendas, throughout. There'll definitely be more than one that's close, no matter where you choose to stay. There'll be one on the corner somewhere. The type of tienda where they'll recognize you when you come in. Most of the people, I believe, don't look to shop as if they're going to a Costco where you need to have, an area to store your purchases. You don't want to purchase where you don't want to have to shop where you have to buy a whole cartload, where to put it. But they rather shop for their immediate needs, and portions are smaller at these types of businesses. And as a visitor, I found it perfect for me. Pricing at the local to small to mid-sized grocery stores I found to be much less in cost than the bigger locations such as Jumbo, Consumo, Corullos, or Éxito. FYI, Éxito has more than just groceries, and it's more like a Walmart than anything else. They have clothing, toys, home supplies, electronics, and more. On that note of shopping, your choice of mall would probably be Los Molinos. It's modern, it's clean, and plenty of stores, which includes an Éxito right up front. There are also smaller malls in this area, I'm sure, but this has to be the largest and it's the most complete. There's also lots of restaurants in that area as well on the streets surrounding the mall. I want to take a brief moment to ask that if you like my videos, please click the thumbs up below. Comment if you can and subscribe. This is the only way I can grow my channel and continue to bring you more information like this in this format. So thanks much in advance, and thank you so much for those who already have. Now, back in the day, Belen was quite dangerous. Back in the day, I'm talking about 30 years or so ago. I'm sure you know the time frame. If you watched the Netflix series of Narcos, you'll know what I mean. I didn't find it dangerous at all, though. And I'd assume it's like everywhere else, don't wander around in certain streets or parks after midnight expecting peace and love. Just joking, but just as anywhere else in the States, be aware of your surroundings, and above all, learn Spanish. I implore you, people. It will go a long way here because, remember, most people here don't speak English at all. I'd say that I found maybe less than 5% of the Paisa people spoke English or some English. With that said, some may have preferred just not to fumble through another language. A quick FYI also is, if I haven't gone over it before, people that are born and raised in Medellin refer to themselves as Paisa, meaning people of the country. So if you want to know if someone is from this area, you can simply ask if they're Paisa. Usted Paisa? You know. Keep in mind there are quite a bit of people here from other countries as well, such as Venezuela. And like you, if you are from the U.S. One other thing to note, Paisas come in every shade of color, from the brightest of white to the darkest of black. If you keep your mouth shut here and don't wear any crazy clothes, no one will even know that you're not from here. I get mistaken for a Colombian all the time. People expect me to speak Spanish. You may see someone you're just sure is an American black, and then start talking to them only to find out that they're Colombian, speak only Spanish and no English. It's crazy. If you haven't been here before and you're planning on coming, remember me telling you this. Keeping all this in mind, no need to go around the city speaking English loudly. Be discreet if you can. Do not draw attention to yourself, and if you don't need to, especially if you cannot communicate with the community. So the area of Belen was once one of the first areas to make up Medellin. Belen, El Centro, and Poblado were probably the first areas to have inhabitants. Belen had a large Afro-Colombian population as well. Its rich history started somewhere around the 1850s. As any part of Medellin, there are plenty of parks. Belen is no different. You can visit Parque Belen when you're in the area to get a real taste of the area. Personally, I found every park that I went to at night to be a hangout spot and a location for the locals to partake in a little bit of that happy smoking, if you know what I mean. While weed is illegal to sell, it's definitely being used to its fullest in Medellin, let me tell you. Another park to visit that has lots of sports facilities to use is a park named after the soccer player Andres Escobar. He's the player that scored an own goal in the 1994 World Cup loss against the U.S. He was killed shortly after that. Officials named it after him shortly after. I don't know what this means, but hey, it's their history. Another place to visit during your stay in Belen is Pueblito Paisa. If you've driven or been driven around Medellin, you'll notice that it's a huge valley surrounded by mountains. It's almost like a huge bowl. Well, in the middle of that said bowl is a hill or a small mountain right in the middle of the city. And this is called Pueblito Paisa. It has a replica or a small pueblo or town that was this area way back when the city began. Equipped with a small church and a town square and a nice restaurant and many food stalls all around. But I think its best feature, or the best feature of Pueblito Paisa, are the views. Since it's directly in the middle of Medellin, you have almost a panoramic view of the city, almost 360 degrees. As you can see, the views are amazing, especially towards El Centro, the mountains, and towards Poblado, and even as far as Envigado to the south. This is a must when visiting Medellin, of course, and if you're staying in Belen, you definitely have to go by. You will notice that if you're in towards the middle of the city areas such as Laureles and Belen, it's hard to see. It's hidden by trees, and you have to take a winding road to access it, and you'll be going around that winding road for a while. So it's hidden, but it's close. From the mountainsides all around the city, you'll see it right in the middle. But there's also an awesome replica of the city in the museum at Pueblito Paisa as well. So be sure to take a look at this as well. It's worth a few cents that they charge you, a few pesos that they charge you. Okay, lastly, let's talk about cost of lodging for both short and long term. Please refer to my last video on moving to Medellin to help understand the stratum system. With that said, Belen has an estrato range between 3 and 5, so really middle of the road. So rates for rentals are pretty reasonable. Searching through Airbnb, I found them to be reasonable in price and at an average of about $450 US to $550 US per month. From the pictures, they look just average, but I found that this meant that all the good places are already booked, they're already taken. What I did was search for locations in the future by a couple of months, because remember, when you choose the dates that are near, say you're going within the next month, these locations won't show up if they're not available. So try to search maybe 3 months into the future where they're not liable to be taken yet. You'll see some nice places. I found the areas of Los Lomas and or Loma de los Bernal. Love that area. They have new high-rises such as the ones you'd see in Poblado, but without the Poblado prices. And the middle rises can be just as nice. These can be found just east of the mountains. If you saw my video of climbing the mountain of Three Crosses or Tres Cruces, this is where it's located, to the east of that mountain. When I climbed that mountain and saw these apartments, I knew that if I ever purchased a condo here, this would be the area. It's huge. It's a huge up-and-coming area. So watch my video on A Traveling Jones also, the family of expats that moved to Medellin. This is where they stayed, and they love it. According to Medellin Living, if you're smart about your search and you have the help of a Paisa, a local, you could find a nice one-bedroom apartment starting at around $270 per month. Remember, you have to have a Paisa friend to go with you, or you'll get those gringo prices. And gringo prices are where you pay more for something than a Paisa, a local, just because you're not from here. Gringo pricing is real, people, let me tell you, and not just for apartments. They'll also state that you could get a nice furnished one-bedroom apartment somewhere around $650 per month, US. This would be for a higher-end location, though, and probably furnished. Also, remember, you may be asked to have a fiador. A fiador is a local that's co-signing for you, really. This is someone that the owner can go after for payment should you decide not to pay for whatever reason. The fiador must also own property, I'm told. So here's another reason to make friends wherever you go, people. You need that fiador. So sometimes, and that's when you go through agencies. But there's agencies that can assist you with this. And of course, when dealing with person to person, dealing with an owner themselves, some will allow you to rent without a fiador. Also, placing a deposit or paying a few months in advance can assist you with getting around that as well. One thing, don't get too hung up on curb appeal. It might not look that nice from the street, but when you get inside, some apartment buildings, the renovated ones can be incredible. And if you're lucky, you can get a very nice space in a neighborhood where rent is low. So don't get hung up on the way it looks from the outside. To be honest with you, I'd rather people think I don't have a lot inside of value anyway. I'm just saying. A good site to look up prices for apartments for rent and condos and houses to purchase would be Espacio Urbanos. And that's www.espaciourbano.com. And your browser should translate it to English for you, hopefully. Also, check out the following sites. I'll scroll these on the screen, and I'll also put them in the description. So, good apartment hunting, and thanks for watching my videos. Again, please like, subscribe, comment. It helps me to grow my site. The more you do comment, the more you do like and subscribe, YouTube says, okay, there's interest. Well, maybe we'll recommend this video. So I need you guys to help. So thanks again for watching. You guys take care. Bye.
Please comment and share if you liked the video.
Please subscribe and kick the bell.